I should go live more often. They like lives. I really don't see the purpose in lives that much because it's hard to put and to right on the spot put all your information in one basket. So I guess I should start preparing for my lives better beforehand. But with all that said, have you guys seen the natural disasters? Have you guys seen the natural disasters? I made a video a few years ago, actually a year ago, in 2023, talking about how the disaster intensity all around the world of natural disasters would increase sharply. And they have. All these disasters have risen sharply. And like I said, I'm not predicting the future. I'm not a prophet. All I did was read the scriptures, and thank God he let me understand them finally. And you can see what's going on here. This is the culmination of the end of times and the destruction of the Gentiles. So while they're out there partying it up still, they're having the last hurrah. It's just like the days of Noah, guys. Your common America is out there partying it up. They're sending their kids to college. They're getting married, and they don't know that the great destruction's coming. Even though all the signs of it are here, we've had like a higher than average natural disaster for this year. It topped any year. Our tornado record in the United States is through the roof. Our tornado record, just the tornadoes we're having. And this is how you know. I can't see the chat. So if there's a chat, guys, if you guys are chatting, I can't see it. Let me know, send a thumbs up if you guys can comment in the chat, but just watching the disaster rate go up and the intensity of these things, you're going to clearly see that it's a targeted destruction. And when I say targeted destruction, I mean not everybody is going to be targeted by this destruction. And you can clearly see the year started off, Japan got hit. I haven't really gotten into the whole Asia and India thing, other than them that not really being Asia and India superior being over here, and stuff like that. But you know why them people in Japan and India is having all these landslides and natural disasters, bro. Look into the history of these countries. They set up a caste system, right? And they put the people with the darkest skin on the bottom. So who ended up on the bottom? Us. Look up the black untouchables of India. It's weird because I was watching this documentary, man, and the black guy goes out there and he looks at these people that they try to hide behind the walls when the public events, they build brick walls to hide them, the Dalits, the people they treat like trash. They're really the descendants of the Nagas. And if you look up the Nagas in ancient times, the Nagas were the highest priesthood in India. Like I said, we were placed all over the earth as priests and prophets. And, there was a exchange of situation, and we were brought down. And now that we have gone through that, we've gone through all of our trying and testing, it's their turn. Now, here's the problem. It's easy to be a bully when you're the only one that's armed, when you have the power to do so. And now that power has been taken away from you. See, the truth is Europeans colonized 80% of the whole world, and they don't see nothing wrong with that. Like, you guys just went it, you left your homes and you just took everything over. So naturally, when you do things like that, you have to have a history that's going to excuse stuff like that. And they do. They have a history that excuses all that because they don't have to talk about it. They just write their hit. Like, for instance, they just write around these things, or they have selectively written you out of history and chosen a people on this planet at this point in time to claim that history, so you don't know it's yours. How come nobody knows about the Brahmin or the Nagas in India? When you go to the temples there, it's the same thing in South America and Chichen Itza and Africa and anywhere they find black people being represented as priests or kings or any kind of thing like that. You'll always see the heads are removed. I was watching on Big Judah's channel when he went down to Chichen Itza in Mexico, and he pointed out clear as day because he has the I forget what it's called. He has a book that goes over these Negro features that were in Mexico at that time. He has all the pictures and all, see example here, all the examples and little pictures. He goes to these places now. All the heads of these people are chipped out. Like the heads are gone. It's just a block with a missing head and a body, and all this other stuff. All the heads are gone. Why would you do that? Oh, because in the original picture, the people had afros and dreadlocks, and they were being depicted as Negroes. And when you have come to a country and you have sat in on the people and you have not cared about anything but what you can get out of them, of course you have to lie about history. Your history can't be true, because if you tell the truth, you're going to have a problem, and you would have less of a problem if you told the truth, you know. But you would, back then they would have a problem. They wanted prosperity. They wanted the ease of life. They didn't want to deal with these dark concepts and these atrocities that their ancestors committed, and they still commit today. So what do? They don't talk about it. But now that's over. You see, it has to be over. This country can no longer sustain the weight of its own sin. It's pushing the borderline of insanity. And you know we've gotten there. Look at society. We got gender dysphoria being pushed as a viable mental state of being instead of a mental disorder, which it was classified not that long ago as a mental disorder, right? Your government is one part of your government is looting the country dry, and that's the Democratic Party. The other part is just selfishly trying to preserve what they think is theirs when it's not theirs. None of them have the right answers. None of them want you to have the right answers. That's why they're having all these debates that Kamala's losing on purpose, because she knows they purposely let her run on a platform that's not popular. Just like with Biden. Just it's all so Trump could look good and Trump could win and then people could be pro-America. Because no matter who you are, a Democrat or Republicans, whether even though their mindsets conflict with each other, even though the Democratic Party's a bird is one bird, and the left wing is the Democrats and the right wing is the Republicans. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same bird. But they clash with this ideological theater so much that they cannot see the bigger picture. And this goes into religion. This goes into to every aspect of life. Every aspect of life, even entertainment. You watch the TV, everything is to push their worldview. Everything. I mean, you can't even watch a cartoon without it anymore, because what do? Like, I was watching Teen Titans Go with my nephew not that long ago. Not that long ago, like a year or two ago, right? And they're explaining the flat earth theory. Like in a version that children can understand, like the world's a pancake and Antarctica's an ice wall and all that stuff. And Robin gets up and says, "Beast Boy, you're an idiot." This and that. And that's the programming. You see what I mean? If you bother to go and study and learn for yourself and know that water is flat and the earth is flat and stuff like that, they're going to put it in a children's show. So when your kid comes into you and says, like, "Dad, I learned this on a show," that's a cartoon. But they put the truth in the cartoons and in the movies all the time. It's right in front of your face. Look at Planet of the Apes. Bro, that's obviously referring to black people. And that's obviously referring to scriptures. Like when y'all see the first movie where the guy's standing in front of the Statue of Liberty and it's all torn and beaten, that's describing the fall of Babylon, and that's describing that's the visual representation of Revelations. See what I'm saying? They visually represented Revelations in that book, where all the merchants of the earth are wailing over the whore who's fallen, and she's on the ground, she's been beaten and tattered, and that's America. And that's why they show you the Statue of Liberty like that and a guy crying over it. That's all symbolic, but people without spiritual eyes can never see anything like that. Why is all this coming upon this nation? Oh, because of the sins you committed, because of colonialism, because y'all refuse to end that. Y'all refuse to decolonize America. Y'all want to keep holding on and spreading power over the stuff that's not yours. And it's simply not yours. And if you keep doing this, you will be destroyed, and it'll be the power of the Most High. And they show you this in movies all the time. The Most High, even though this is going to probably turn some of my listeners off, the Most High, or who you call Yahweh, is the God of Israel. There's plenty of gods out on this earth, bro. Out in this existence we live in. Not even the earth, the existence we live in. But this earth belongs to our Father, who is our God. And on this planet, everyone here, at least in spirit, is his posterity. Few people here are genetically the same creatures he made in his image. Okay? Only the Jews are. And that's because the Most High preserved their lineage. And this goes deep. Like, I read Mark Dem not that long ago. I just made a video about that. I got people in the comments telling me Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, and getting offended on Facebook because I shared it on there, and they're like, "How dare you say?" One, they're offended because I showed Black God. Well, how you gonna have in your studies that African Americans have the oldest DNA on the planet, and we say that means we're the endemic humans, right? That means that's what we would be, right? They admit that in the studies. You can go get on the internet and just look that up. They admit that right in the studies. African Americans have the oldest DNA on the planet, but we're not. Then they're gonna say we're not the endemic humans. And if we're then God's black. If we're the people He made in His image initially, then what does He look like? You see what I'm saying? But all this gets offensive to Europeans, and then they don't want to talk to you no more. They don't want to hear it because really, really, the truth just vexes their ears. The truth is harsh to people who are wicked. To the wicked, the truth is harsh. You guys wanted to set up these idols to worship and make everything about skin color, and then y'all put a white Jesus up everywhere. And this is what you gotta deal with now. When the truth comes out, like, no, Jesus was not white; he was black. And what you guys are practicing in all your churches is idolatry. And you think that that man who you claim to worship, right? I say claim because we know who they really worship: Zeus, Cesare Borgia, right? This man who you claim to worship is going to get here and inquire about the destruction of his brethren. And you guys think that colonizing 80% of the world and slaying all the aboriginals you found, anytime Europeans came into contact with the aboriginals, anywhere they found them, they enslaved them. You can look that up anywhere, bro. I mean, anywhere. That's why there's all these caste systems set up all around the world. Because what? The world was given over into the hands of the wicked. And they have done wickedly. See, but now it's time to receive their reward, and they looking at the reward and they're like, whoa, that's shit. I don't want that. I don't want to have to eat this cup of shit. You know? And we're like, no. You got to eat this cup of shit, you know? Because you know what? You got to know how this medicine tastes, because you've been dishing out this medicine. Now it's time for you to eat it. They're not going to learn to the very end. They know the Most High is on his way. The government then knew that. That's why they got all these so-called Webster's telescopes and all these things looking at the firmament, because they know he said he's going to appear in a cloud of what? Fire, and come down, and all everyone shall see him, the whole world. That's the mothership, baby. That's the mothership. There ain't no non-humanoid alien things that they show you. That's all to program you. They want you to think the Most High is an enemy. That's why in Independence Day, that movie where the aliens show up and they destroy the White House and they destroy the government. In that movie, if you really pay attention, the aliens didn't war with the general public. They destroyed the cities of mass wicked, which I guess you could claim that as general, but they destroyed the cities of wicked people, right? And just like the Most High said he was going to do when he gets here, destroy the cities and what? Destroy the government. So when you see that mothership blast the White House into smithereens, you understand what they're showing you. Like, no, they've understood ever since Admiral Byrd, all right, what's on the other side, what's on the other side of the firmament are other planets governed by, most of them are our power, you know? And when he gets here to reclaim what's his here and visit his people and spend that millennial age with them that we've been promised, you guys are going to be servants in that. I mean Gentiles, I mean Europeans. I mean, because you went around the world taking things that wasn't yours, and you kept spreading power over people who don't want to be ruled by you. And in the modern age, just look at your history, and that's a testament of your pride, right? And people say, you know, they try to get the Bible and come at me and say, well, our religion's about love and caring. How? Show me an example of that. Show me an example of Christians loving and caring. And I don't mean in 2024 here, where they're out there on the streets giving out book bags and books. I'm talking about, show me in the last 100 years how your religion has reflected that. And it hasn't. You can't go back 100 years and say that. You can't go back 200 years and say that. You can't go back 300 years and say that. I know what your religions are about: money, self-gain. That's why they use religion, and the the doctrine of discovery approved slavery of anybody who had dark skin anywhere they found them. I mean, look at the plain language. If you look at it from the view of Legal document, that's what it says. But it kind of is a legal document. The church has power. You think the Catholic Church doesn't have that kind of power now? Why did why when Hitler was betrayed by the powers at that be, did he try to kidnap the Pope? Because he knew if he got a hold of the Pope, well, that's really who runs the world government. This new world order. People say the new world order is coming. They've been here. When they came to the new world and called it the new world and started saying you guys don't know nothing and your history is wrong, that's what the new world order. They set up this whole global system of oppression. And now because Europeans they just been sleeping, you're in it too. Most of y'all didn't even get the big fruits of the pie, but you're still pushing and trying to go with this American system, and you don't even have the big fruits. The majority of you do not have the big fruits of the pie. Only a small, selected, elite few actually enjoy the blessings of this conquest, and all y'all have little pieces. But y'all gonna be punished all the same, unless y'all repent. You see, y'all got this Eurocentric mindset, and I'm not Afrocentric. I gotta say that because Afrocentrism is based off of Eurocentric. They go hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. See what I'm saying? But we all know that this is Africa. This the Americas. The Americas is Africa. All right? We all know that. It's been true since the beginning and the end of time. It's never been there's never been time to let me see here. I'm trying to pull up these comments. Trying to pull up these comments. Yeah, I can't see your comments, guys. I don't know. I'm not really used to going live like that. You know what I mean? Like Facebook and YouTube, and sometimes I get on my live and I say something I shouldn't, and they take my video down. I might say something about those things they made people take. They might take my video down. That's why I don't do live, because when I sit and write, and I can write and edit, I can take out anything that would cause me to be taken down. Once my YouTube is big enough, I will start a BitChute account. I will go start uploading videos there, the ones I can't upload here, the things I can't say here, because YouTube, they're Eurocentric. Like I said, you can't offend them. It's not even YouTube. They just tell you what to say. They tell you what to think, tell you how to be, tell you what's appropriate. Tell you what's appropriate or not. And that's how this works. See, if they don't do that kind of stuff, then they lose control of the narrative. And the whole dream is to keep control of the hearts of the minds of men. And that's when the Bible says they're keeping you locked in the bondage of sin. Yes. Yes, they are. This is how. This is how. And it's because of their selfishness. They set up a system of money. They fucked the whole world up. And that's to be true. This money system fucked the whole world up. Everybody's selfish. Everybody's trying to get it. We destroyed the planet for money. Who set that up? Who set all that up? Where did it all come from? Europeans. Our people here in the Americas did not deal with things like that. That's why when you came here, we gave you gold and we gave you resources, because we did not deal with things like that. We bartered. We didn't use money as a sign, and that's their symbol of slavery. That's the yoke around your neck. That little dollar bill, it's all debt, and your labor is being guaranteed on it, and that's why your Social Security cards are sold. Your numbers are sold. It's like an account in your name, and that's why everyone's in debt. How does a country that had 400 years of free labor end up in so much debt? It should be impossible to go into debt. Like, they've estimated it. The money they made off of slavery, they've estimated it, and what the value is now. It's billions and billions of dollars, billions and billions, way more than the national debt. Billions and billions and billions and trillions. But that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people that can't govern because they're selfish. They can't even self-reflect. They can't even look at the history and the slaughter of the indigenous people and say, maybe this has something to do with prophecy. There are people who are like, you see them people living up in those hills that been there for generations and thousands of years. Let's go round up a posse let's go lynch them and get them out of there and take their land. And that's what they did. What happened with all these land lotteries they were doing after all the Indian wars? Any conflict they have with a tribe, and if they won it, there was a land lottery afterwards. Now you'll see, because I got the videos on my YouTube channel. You'll see white people acting like my family has all these artifacts they claim that they that was theirs and they're Native Americans. And I did some research, and no, we're not Native Americans, and these artifacts aren't ours. We got these after the land lotteries. We these are Cherokee artifacts, and you look at the artifacts and you're like, they look like something you would see in Africa. You know what I'm saying? But no, they're not African. It's just that we look similar to what they call Africans. So if we have artifacts depicting ourselves, and you grab some artifacts from over in Africa depicting them, they're gonna look the same. A lot of us are the same people. It's just that if everything started here and we had to go around the world and settle the world, we're going to be on every continent. And besides that, the Most High made sure we were established at least in all the nations as prophets and priests. So when a nation got out of control and it was in danger of being destroyed, what did he do? He raised up his people and he said, go prophesy to them and tell them I will destroy them if they do not turn their ways around. And that's written in the Bible multiple times. Y'all think all that just stopped? No, it never stopped. The church suppressed the real Israelites, so no truth comes from them anymore. They destroyed them and took away their knowledge. So now so the church could tell you what God thinks and what God says and his judgments. And they're telling you that Constantine Christianity, everything's good, all your sins are paid for. That's come on. That's what they're telling you. That's what they have to tell you. They can't tell you the truth. If they told you the truth, it would start this culmination of events that would ultimately lead in their destruction by their own people, because the rage that they would feel from and this is going to happen when they understand how much lies they've been fed as the Gentile nations of the earth. It's going to be rage. That's why it says, why do the heathen rage? And they imagine a vain thing. That's why it says that in the Bible. It's going to be rage. It's going to be pure rage. We just cut them up with some scriptures, and then we're getting a rage. We're just telling them what the scriptures really mean. They're getting a rage. We're saying, no, these people ain't the Jewish people. We are. When have they ever been on slave ships? Okay? When have they ever been persecuted in every nation? Are there caste systems to oppress them based on their physical characteristics? No. See, but that's what they do. See, because we have made oppression look good, because anything we do just make it look good. That's why they get black people to sell everything. The artists, the those big ass red shoes the rappers walking around with, people walking around with, that nobody would wear those big ass goofy shoes. Now everybody wearing them because black people start wearing them. And we're trendsetters, we're culture setters. That's why they always trying to get your vote. When you're like 15% of the population, they're always like, that black vote. You need to vote for Kamala. You need to vote for Trump. Look, Trump's with a black guy. Look, she's black. Look at this. Why are they always trying to pander to us if we don't matter? But they see that culture follows us. See, culture follows us. The vibe of the planet follows us. And they know that. So they try to manipulate us, but it's going to get harder and harder to manipulate us, because every day more of us grow in knowledge and understanding. And the more we grow, the more we can see that these people don't know nothing. These people aren't even capable of debating, especially not the scriptures, especially not the history. They can't, because it's all damning. It's so damning and it's so ugly, they can't. So when we just start to say this out of our mouths to them, they feel like they're being attacked, but we're just bringing up facts. We're just bringing up facts. And it's harsh. The truth is harsh. The truth is never pretty. It's not some pretty stuff that you could just, it's never pretty. It can't be. Truth has to be ugly. You know why truth has to be ugly? Because the actions of sinners are ugly. The actions taken against the indigenous people of America, slavery is ugly. All right? Taking advantage of people's labor is ugly. Waging endless wars is ugly. So when you got to come face to face with that, and you can't just live behind this shield of America that's been protecting you while your nation just savages the world, just ravages the world, it's going to be ugly. You're going to look at this and it's going to make you uncomfortable. And you could shoot the messenger. That's what you guys want to do. You want to take shots at me. I didn't make anything. I'm not making anything up here either. I don't make stuff up. I don't make anything. I'm just observing and giving you, the perspective of the oppressed and the downtrodden. That's all I'm doing, and y'all can't stand it because your whole lifestyle is just sucking off of us, and it is. I'm sorry, but if you guys are not colonialists and colonizers, then what are you? And what does it mean to colonize? Does it mean that you live at other people's expense? Does it mean that you cause 400 years of suffering for a particular people who you've taken their land from? I don't see, and that causes a bunch of other suffering and a bunch of other crimes and sins and things like that. Because when there's millions of people on the continent, you just take it over and do whatever you want. You're going to cause all these problems. Then those people are going to be doing whatever they can to survive, and a lot of sins happen because of that. So your actions didn't just cause us to sin. You've led the whole world into this state of confusion and dismay and disrepair. And most of these Christians believe somehow that they're going to get raptured away. They look at the signs of destruction coming. They're like, oh, the rapture is coming. Why would why does everyone think they can just fuck anything up and leave? That's everybody's problem. They don't want to deal with the ugliness. But you got to at some point in time. Like, you got to. Y'all should have been trying to deal with this kind of problems when your government blew up those towers in 9/11 and blamed whoever the fuck and went to war for 20 years. Y'all should have been trying to deal with this then. But y'all weren't. See, everybody just wants to party. And that's why, party it up until destruction comes, You think when Hitler took over, everybody wasn't just partying down there, and then people were warning them, like, hey, maybe we should stop partying and pay attention to some of the things this guy is saying, even though not all of the things he was saying was terrible. I mean, from the perspective of a Hebrew. You can get offended if you want. You should just leave now. If you haven't done your research into that, then you haven't, because Hitler, what he did was according to what was written in Revelations about people not being Jews, but being the synagogue of Satan. Now, I can't get into that too much because that's another one of those hot topics they flag you on about his confession, you know what I mean? The guy with the little mustache from World War II, that guy, his confession, yeah. That's another thing they flag you on. I got a whole video about that. I just can't do nothing with it. That's why I'm saying I'm going to make this BitChute account so I can upload the videos I have there. I uploaded it. It was taken down immediately. Like, they immediately flagged me on the AI. I'm like, yep. They made me take it down. They were going to give me a guideline strike. And then, you get enough of those, they just delete your channel. All that work you put in is gone. Because YouTube is YouTube. And they work for those people. And anything that gets big, that's why these corporations always want to buy everything. Let me buy that and I can just control what everybody says. Because if there's any opposition on these platforms to their narrative, they want to own and control the platform so they can try to control the opposition. That's the problem with getting too much money on YouTube too. Because once you start getting a certain amount of money, then you got people trying to tell you what to say, and all these sponsors and all this other want to tell you how to say it, and sell this and sell that, and most people sell out, All right, guys, it's been like a half an hour. I know YouTube tells me the best practices for lives is to go more than a half an hour, 2 hours. I don't have the time to talk like that. So shalom, family. Take it easy. I'll do more lives soon. I got this rig for lives. You can see my camera stable. I'm not moving around. I'm relaxed and talking. We're going to see how it goes, guys. Shalom. If I figure out how to end this.